The internet is being rebuilt right now, and almost nobody is talking about it. Not a small patch, not a software update, a ground-up redesign of the cloud infrastructure that every single website, app, and digital service in the world runs on. And it is not being rebuilt for you. It is being rebuilt for AI agents. Why does that matter to you specifically? Because every email you send, every purchase you make, every search you run, every video you stream, all of it runs on this infrastructure. When it changes, everything changes. Prices change, privacy changes, speed changes. Who controls the internet changes. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what is happening, who is doing it, why they are doing it right now, and what it means for your life, your job, and your future. This is one of those stories that sounds technical on the surface, but is actually one of the most important things happening in technology today. Stay until the end. I have a free gift for every one of you who watches until the end. Welcome to Brian's AI News. I am Brian. And today we are going deep on the story that the tech press keeps burying in jargon and footnotes. The internet is being rebuilt for machines, and the companies doing it are AWS, Cloudflare, and the biggest names in cloud infrastructure on the planet. Let me break this down in plain English. For the past year, AI agents have been moving from experiments to actual production systems. What that means is that companies are no longer just playing around with AI chatbots. They are deploying AI agents that actually do things autonomously. They book appointments, they make purchases, they send emails, they manage workflows, they talk to other software systems, pull data, process it, and act on it, all without a human clicking a button. And when those agents do all of those things, they generate internet traffic, a lot of it. And that traffic is hitting the infrastructure of the internet, specifically the cloud servers run by companies like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Cloudflare, in ways those systems were never designed to handle. Here is the core problem. The entire internet as we know it was engineered around one assumption. The user is a human. A human loads a web page, reads it for a few seconds, clicks, waits, reads again. The timing is slow, the patterns are predictable, and the requests have natural pauses because humans physically cannot interact faster than a certain speed. AI agents do not have that limit. An AI agent can fire thousands of requests per second. It authenticates differently. It navigates differently. It does not care about visual layouts or page designs because it is not looking at any of that. It just wants the data, and it will keep hammering a server until it gets what it needs. The existing infrastructure was not built for that. So AWS, Cloudflare, and others have started building new infrastructure that is, new routing systems, new authentication frameworks, specifically designed for machine-to-machine communication, new server architectures that can handle the volume, speed, and pattern of AI-generated traffic at a global scale. This is not a rumor or a projection. It is happening right now. You might be thinking, okay, that sounds like something for engineers to worry about. Why should I care about routing systems and server architecture? Here is why. This shift determines who controls the gatekeeping layer of the internet. Right now, if you want to reach a website, you type an address, your browser sends a request, and a server responds. The human is in the loop. The human is the customer. The human is who the entire system is optimized for. In the world being built right now, AI agents are doing the navigating. And the companies that build the infrastructure those agents run on get to set the rules. They decide what an agent can access and what it cannot. They decide how fast requests can be made, what authentication looks like, what data formats are accepted. They become the new gatekeepers of the internet, not for humans, but for the AI systems that will increasingly act on our behalf. That has enormous implications for businesses. If you run a small website or an online store and the new infrastructure is built around big AI platforms, your content might become invisible to the agents doing the shopping, the searching, and the booking unless you pay to be compatible. The SEO industry spent 20 years figuring out how to be visible to Google. Now, everyone is going to have to figure out how to be visible to AI agents. And the companies building the infrastructure get to decide what visibility even means. For regular people, this changes the relationship between you and the internet in a fundamental way. You will increasingly interact with the internet through AI agents acting on your behalf, and those agents will be running on infrastructure owned and operated by a small number of very large companies. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Cloudflare. The consolidation of power here is significant. To understand why this is happening now specifically, you have to go back a few years. When large language models first went public, the common assumption was that they would be assistants, tools you talk to, you ask a question, you get an answer. That was the mental model. But starting in late 23 and accelerating through 2024 and into 2025, something shifted. Researchers and developers started building what are called agentic systems. AI that does not just respond, but actually takes actions in the world. It can use a browser. It can call an API, which is a way of connecting to another software system. It can send data, receive data, and make decisions based on that data without stopping to ask a human what to do next. The moment that became real, the infrastructure problem became real too. Because now you do not have millions of humans occasionally browsing the web. You have millions of AI agents continuously, relentlessly, and rapidly interacting with web services around the clock. Cloudflare reported earlier this year that AI bot traffic has grown to represent a significant and fast-growing share of all internet traffic. AWS has been quietly rolling out new services and frameworks tailored specifically for agent workloads. The entire industry saw this coming, and now the race is on to own the infrastructure layer of the agentic internet. But here is where it gets really interesting. This is not just an infrastructure upgrade. It is a power grab. Whoever owns the pipes that AI agents run through owns enormous leverage over the entire digital economy. And the companies moving fastest know exactly what they are doing. Technologists and analysts who study internet infrastructure have been raising flags about this for months. The core concern that experts keep coming back to is standardization and control. When humans browse the internet, there are open standards. HTML, HTTP, the protocols that define how browsers and servers talk to each other. Those standards were developed in the open by international bodies and are accessible to everyone. No single company owns them. The new infrastructure being built for AI agents is not following that same open path. AWS has its own frameworks. Google has its own protocols, including the Universal Commerce Protocol we have seen discussed in relation to Google Pay. Cloudflare is building its own agent-oriented routing and authentication layers. These are proprietary systems being developed by private companies in competitive secrecy. Experts warn that if the agentic internet solidifies around proprietary infrastructure before open standards emerge, we could end up with a fragmented, controlled internet where access depends entirely on which platform your AI agent was built on. The open web could effectively close, not through government regulation, but through infrastructure lock-in. Others are more optimistic, pointing out that market pressure and developer demand for interoperability may force these companies toward common standards eventually. But that argument assumes the market moves fast enough. And in technology, the window for setting standards often closes quickly. In the near term, expect to see every major cloud provider announce major updates to their agent infrastructure. The competitive pressure is intense and public. No large cloud company can afford to be seen as behind on this. You will also start to see new industries emerge around agent optimization, essentially the equivalent of SEO, but for making your business or content accessible and attractive to AI agents rather than human searchers. This will be a massive market. For consumers, the change will be gradual but profound. Over the next 2 to 3 years, the way most people interact with digital services will shift from direct browsing to agent-mediated interaction. You will tell your AI what you want, and it will go handle it. But you will be trusting that AI to navigate an infrastructure you have no visibility into, governed by rules set by a handful of corporations. The question of governance, of who gets to set the rules for the infrastructure that AI agents run on, is going to become one of the defining policy battles of the next decade. Regulators in Europe are already paying attention. American regulators are slower, but the pressure will build. The internet, you know, is becoming the back end of something new, and right now, a very small number of companies are deciding what that something new looks like. As promised, your free gift. I put together a complete PDF report of everything we covered today, key facts, expert analysis, and what to watch next. It is completely free. We are building a growing AI news community on Discord where like-minded people share insights, help each other, and stay ahead of every major AI development. Join the link in the description, grab your free PDF, and I will see you in the next one. Do not forget to subscribe to Brian's AI News so you never miss a story that matters.